What is up, Panic Squad? I've got some exciting news today. I don't know when this video will be out, but I've been spending some late night gameplay with a good friend of mine, the newest member of Panic Squad, Alestrals.
Hey, how are you all doing? This is Chris here.
So, this has been in the works for like 3 months, trying to sit down and do a video. But basically, we are excited to have Chris as part of the Panic Squad team. Along with myself and Kate, we are going to be doing more videos, hopefully. Whether that's solo openings. Of course, Kate and I will be opening Shattered Stars together. Definitely look forward to some clashes once we get webcams and Discord and how to record everything on that figured out. But Chris, welcome to Panic Squad.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll tell you what, Jared, this is, say Mr. Sam Carson.
Yep, it's okay. My name's already out there, so it doesn't matter.
Say that again, sorry.
My name's already out there, so it doesn't matter, but yeah.
Oh, great. Good to know. All right, that helps me out a lot, actually. But I'll tell you what, this has been something I've been looking forward to for a while, because I love being able to talk about this thing. I know that I'm what you would consider more of just a casual player. I don't get involved in, a lot of the tournaments and things like that. I know they have web tournaments, but I don't really have a place nearby where I live that does like local work or local type tournaments.
Which we will work on that this summer. We will definitely work on that.
Amazing. Absolutely. We're going to be doing some major stuff this summer, I bet. But I'll tell you what, even as just a casual player, I love the game for its art style, for its mechanics. It's something that is both intuitive and it calls back to something that everyone knows how to play, like a simple card game, but it's intuitive in that it also keeps things very, very fresh with its own mechanics and its own system. And I like that about the game. I think that one of the coolest things for me, and I know this is kind of just a cool story, Jared, you were the one that got me into this game back when, you first told me about it, and I said, maybe I'll give it a shot.
This is back before I ever legitimately played the game, but I was more of a collector, is when I first started mentioning. But when I started to get really into playing the game, that's when I kind of like put the pressure on. I'm like, Chris, you got to try this game. This game is so much fun. And
I'm so glad that you did. Too.
Yeah. And then what happened, Chris?
Yeah, I know. So after we discussed it and Jared kept, trying to get me to buy some decks, I decided I'll give it a shot. I bought a couple starter decks. I remember I bought the Trifernal deck and I bought the Pantera deck because I thought, hey, I love a good big beefy boy that can hit like a truck. Now, I've since learned that just trying to get the big beefy boy that hits like a truck is not the way to necessarily win the game.
I don't know. 15s was looking pretty good tonight.
15s was looking good if I didn't have Gorgon's Gaze to stop a Tadpole.
Yeah.
That's what was happening.
Yeah, I hate that deck. But anyway, moving on. Back to your Pantera story.
You can't say too much about it because Gorgon's Gaze literally just stops anything. So it's not like I can pull it out and be like, oh, if not for Gorgon's Gaze. Because that's just what you can say about any deck, unfortunately. But again, it's cards like that make the game so much fun. But in fact, when I opened up my first starter decks, I was actually excited to see it because I thought the artworks were nice. I liked the way that the cards were set and the way you play the game. I like how you can still play even when it's not your turn. But when I opened up my first starter deck, I opened up the Pantera deck because I thought that is going to be the coolest one ever. 5-headed dragon. I love Greek mythology. I think it's super cool and fun to, just kind of like look at. But I opened it up. And Jared, I remember you telling me. And the coolest thing was, I don't know if I told you this, but my wife was sitting next to me when I opened up the starter deck. And I looked at her and said, Jared told me that there are special cards that sometimes show up in some of these starter decks.
Yep.
And it's like a 1 out of, I don't even know what the chance is. And I looked at her and I said, wouldn't it be cool to get something like that? Well, I opened up the Pantera starter deck, and behind the very first card was, I believe it was number 69 out of 100,
No, it was.
stellar
I
10th
thought
hitter
it
out
was
of the
85 because it was the same number as Kate's Elichick. But yeah,
Right. It was
straight
85. But
up.
still, I had the stellar 10th hitter out of the very first thing I ever pulled. And I'm not going to lie to you, that really is what jump-started me loving this game.
The second card ever pulled.
How fun it is to be a collector.
I mean,
yeah, but it was the most expensive card I've ever pulled in any TCG. And I love things like your Pokemon, stuff like that. I'm a fan of those kinds of things. I'm not as much into the physical card game of Pokemon as much as I am just like the digital version of Pocket.
Pocket's
which
so
is another
fun.
great game in and of itself. But Alestrals has just what's that?
I was just saying that Pocket was fun.
Well, I'll tell you
yeah.
Yeah, Pocket is fun. Yeah, but again, I don't think it holds a candle to the absolute immensity that Alestrals has turned out to be. Again, it's a game that you're not just watching your opponent take their turn and seeing what they have to counter, which can be. It's anybody can get into in that way. But if you really love a good TCG that's intuitive, that has actual synergy with cards from other sets, things that can come and work together with different cards, this is a game for you. And that's one thing that I like about it. It never stops being fresh because the cards that come out in future and more updates and more sets give callbacks to previous cards from other sets in the past that make you want to go and see what's the vast majority of these things going to turn out to be. And sure, you have sets that come out and they have their own engines, but the engines run throughout all the sets.
And it'll definitely be interesting. We'll probably do. We'll probably do like a video kind of breaking down probably our thoughts on Firestorm, the newest set that's going to be coming out. That comes out in like 2 weeks.
I know, it's coming up very shortly.
And I get access to it early with my LGS. Oh, Poseidon's Fury. Poseidon's Fury go crazy. But we can go over cards in a different video. But I'm just really looking forward to, again, working with you. Because some of the clashes that we get into, good stuff, but also we do some dumb stuff.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I have seen games won with the two of us. We've won with just whoever has the highest defense stat in the end, because that's all we can muster. But I've also seen, tonight, I've seen Aphoros be an absolute menace, which is not something I ever thought I would ever hear, say, or see.
And here's the thing. The only reason that Aphoros was a menace is because I could not draw into my engine. I was so desperately trying.
That's so terrible, though. I'm not going to lie. By the time you had that second Aphoros out, I thought to myself, he is going to set up to, a send-off of it or something. And then what was it? You rise from the depth to pull, because you can't Nexus to that.
Because you Gorgon's Gazed it, I couldn't Nexus to it. But I Nexused away from it, yeah. I was recycling Apheroses like crazy.
I'm telling you, that was just ridiculous. But, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Firestorm's got a lot of just potential that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see what's up in the future of Alestrals and in the future of PanicSquad.
And I'm looking forward to it just as much. Again, thanks for joining. Hopefully this video will go out soon after we've recorded it. I've already kind of put teasers on PanicSquad Alestrals, our Twitter account, or X account, I should say. But it's already out there. But the announcement will come out in full thrust with this video. Anyways, PanicSquad, hope you enjoy it. Look forward to seeing myself, Chris, and Kate, and all the crazy shenanigans we get into here at PanicSquad. You want to say anything else, Chris?
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Y'all have a great day.
All right, peace out, PanicSquad.